best storyteller. Errol McLendon is a two-time Moth winner. He has performed stories in Kansas City, St. Louis, and at the National Storytelling Festival in Jonesboro, Tennessee. His 2 solo shows have been presented in Chicago, Orlando, Atlanta, and Indianapolis. He teaches storytelling workshops and hosts a workshop and open mic in Berwyn. Please give it up for Errol McLendon.
There are hundreds of country roads throughout the South that don't even appear on maps. You can travel through 5 states and never get on a major highway. These are turn rows. They're created by the equipment turning to make another row. So every field has these dirt roads, and literally you can travel everywhere and never get on anything that's on a map. This is where we would go in high school and college to drink and sing show tunes at the top of our lungs, as long as you were far away from the big house, the family home on these plantations that still exist. And I love that. It was a part of my upbringing. And you couldn't hurt anything. You could drink as much as you want. You couldn't hit anything. There was nothing out there. Worst case scenario, you run into a soft dirt, and someone always had a truck with a chain and could pull you back out again. These were the turn rows. My junior year in college, we had the theater department Halloween party. And this was lavish. I mean, people did elaborate costumes and makeup. It started at noon Halloween day, and it went until the next morning when you did breakfast. In the corner was this big garbage can with a liner in it with every kind of alcohol and fruit juice you could imagine. This was whoop juice. You just went and took your cup in and just dipped it and drank. Now, even though most of the theater department did elaborate costumes, there were 3 of us that never really went in for that. Me, Jansen, and Robin. We just wanted to go party. My junior year at the Halloween party, I'm dressed in an all bright blue cowboy outfit because we had done Oklahoma that year. I just went to the costume department and got my costume. Jansen was dressed in suit and tie. So don't judge this. Remember, this is 1971 before political correctness. I'm just reporting the facts. We weren't woke yet, right? He went as a lesbian, okay? And Robin, he was dressed in t-shirt and jeans. He had a headband with devil's horns on it and a toy, like $2 guitar he'd gotten at a toy store. He was the devil, but a very particular devil. He was the devil that met Robert Johnson at the crossroads at midnight in the 30s and got his soul in trade for being able to sing the blues. So as we thank you, shout out to Robert Johnson. Now, we are at this party and jokes are being made at our expense. It's, why don't you go to the crossroads tonight and sell your soul? Maybe you could be an actor. Maybe you could get an Academy Award. Maybe you get a TV series. And what starts as jokes, as you get more alcohol and you become something that, well, yeah, maybe this is something we'll go to. And so we decide we will. Now, Clarksdale, Mississippi has 2 major highways, and they have this big metal construction that says that's the crossroads. That's not the crossroads. I grew up in Cleveland, Mississippi. I know the crossroads is 25 miles away from there at Dockery Plantation. It's where 4 turn rows come together and there's a tree. You grow up knowing this from the time you're tiny, that that's the crossroads. Robert Johnson worked on the Dockery Plantation. He didn't go to the main highway in Clarksdale. He played in the cotton bins there at Dockery Plantation. It still exists, Dockery Plantation with Mr. Dockery. So that's where we go. On our way out of the party, we grabbed 2 fists of bourbon and a big, big bucket of cheese balls. I don't know why. We want to eat, we want to drink. Maybe the devil likes cheese balls. We don't know. And we go out to the crossroads, the area that we know has always been the crossroads. And all the way out, we have our 8-track tape in, singing show tunes at the top of our lungs because we're theater kids, and that's what we did. And we get to the crossroads, and we're drinking a little bit of the bourbon. We're eating cheese balls like crazy. And it gets to be midnight and cut everything off. The lights of the car are still on, but the 8-track goes off. And we start yelling for the devil. Devil, I want a TV series. I want an Academy Award. I want to go to Yale Drama School. And of course, there's nothing. And as we're about to leave, there's a voice that comes from the cotton field. A voice that says, "What are you boys doing out here?" Now, Robin and Jansen, they're both safe. Jansen's from Macomb, Robin's from Clinton, ages, miles and miles away. But I grew up in Cleveland, Mississippi. I've been to Mr. Dockery's parties. He gave me a graduation present. He knows my mom, so I feel like I have to step forward. We obviously didn't realize how close the crossroads was to the family home, which is, we can see it from there, and we've been making a lot of noise. So I step forward and say, "Mr. Dockery, it's Errol McLendon. My mom's June McLendon. We're sorry, we didn't mean to wake you up. We're just out here having a good time. We're going to go now." "You boys shouldn't be out here." "Yes, sir. We didn't mess anything up. We didn't tear anything up. We know we're trespassing. We're just going to leave now." "You're going to want to leave that bourbon and cheese balls." So I take this bucket of cheese balls and bourbon, and I walk over to the edge of the field, and I put it down. And I start to walk back, and he says, "Earl, you need to bring that out to me. This is terrifying. Mr. Dockery knows me from the 2nd grade. He knows my name is Errol, and whoever's out there just called me Earl. And I don't know what to do." Jansen and Robin are standing right back by the car, but I feel like I don't know who this is or what they're doing. So I grab the bourbon and I grab the cheese balls and I start walking out into the field. Now, this is October. Everything's burned off and dry, so my footsteps are echoing. And I get about 10 feet into the field, and suddenly I hear, coming toward me, 2 sets of footprints. And I'm frozen. I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't think I can outrun them. I don't know where I will go. I'm out there alone. And suddenly, out of the corner of my eye, I see flashing lights coming from Cleveland, Mississippi. Like 6 police cars, and they're fanning out and turning at various points and coming out into the field. And from Rouville, there are 3 more coming, and they're doing the same thing. It's like, shit, they've hauled us in. We've been caught trespassing. And before I know it, something runs by me and grabs the bourbon and runs that way, and something else runs by me and grabs the cheese balls and runs that way. And Jansen's in the driver's seat of my car, and he says, "Get in the car, let's get out of here." And I go dive into the back seat, and he starts going. Now, not quickly. No lights. We know these back roads so well. We know we've got 5 miles to go to the next major highway, the opposite direction of where all the cops are coming in. So we drive with the lights off, with the radio off, everything. And we go slowly, blinking lights every now and then, just make sure we're still on the turn row we want to be on. And when we get to the highway, we turn and head back to Cleveland as slowly as possible, because we have been drinking a lot. We just want to get home, and it's 25 miles away. And when we turn on the radio, we hear something that's obviously been broadcast all night, but we had our 8-track in, and they're saying, "WCLD, we want to let everybody know we got 2 escaped convicts from Parchman Penitentiary. Do not engage with anybody. Stay in your homes. They should be considered armed and extremely dangerous." We drive back believing that that's who we had encountered. And when we got back to Cleveland, the announcement suddenly changed. It said, "WCLD, we'd like to let you know that those prisoners have been apprehended. But when they were apprehended, they had some things that we know they didn't get in prison. So if you aided them in any way and were coerced or threatened, you need to let us know and nothing will happen. But if you did help them of your own accord, you will be up for any sort of charges against them as aiding and abetting a criminal." The things they had with them were 2 guns, 2 knives, a bottle of bourbon, and a big thing of cheese balls. To this day, we never said a word to anybody. And I just pray the statute of limitations is ended. Thank you.